name is Ajay Balasubramaniam, and today I'm going to be showing you how to tune your violin. So, to start off, most violins that you buy from violin stores are not going to be tuned in a way that you can use for Carnatic music yet. So, usually the strings will be tuned to different notes or pitches. So, usually they will come, the standard Western violin tuning will be E, A, D, G. So, those are the notes that they're going to have. But for Carnatic music, it's gonna be a different pattern. So for example, the pattern I use is F, C, F, C. So that's not what everyone uses, but it's what I use. And today I'm going to be showing you how to tune to F, C, F, C. So let's start. So there's a few methods you can use to tune your violin. So the first method is using something called a Shruti box. So this is a Shruti box, and basically it's based off of something called a tambura. So a tambura is an instrument that is usually used in concerts to help the main artist keep their tune. So they usually sit behind the main artist and they just keep playing their instrument to help maintain tune throughout. So this does the same thing. It cycles between the notes and it just helps keep track of tune. So if I turn it on like this, so right now it is cycling through the notes F, C, F, C. So here I can use it I can listen and see if my violin is in tune. So if you listen, this note sounds basically exactly like what the Shruti box is playing. So that's how I know that this is in tune. So next string. So this is usually C, and this if you notice, there's also some C's in here, and you can hear that this is in tune with that as well. And then we'll just go to the lower strings now. Same thing there, it's just a lower version of this string. And then here, which is also a lower version. So that is one method you can use. It's very reliable. It's a good way to tune if it's like really close, but if it's a little bit flat. So that's good. So here's another method. So there's a lot of apps on the Google Play Store or on the App Store, whatever. But the app I use is called Guitar and Violin Tuner. So this app, so mine looks like this. So they will have a meter on the bottom which has the notes and some numbers. So I'll put it face down like this so I can see it, and then I will start playing. So while I'm playing, this thing will focus on a note. So it should say F4 if your string is in tune. So when I'm playing, the arrow needs to be right under the line for F4. That's how I know it's in tune. If it's not aligned with that line, that means it's either too sharp, too high, or too flat or too low. So I can do the same thing with the other strings. So this should say C4, same concept, and then lower strings. Okay. So that's how this tuning app works. And then one final thing, you can buy something called a snark tuner. So this is a small little gadget you can attach to one of your pegs. So these four black things are called the pegs. So this essentially will sense the vibration, and it works exactly like this tuning app does. It'll have a kind of meter. So I can just turn it on, and while I play, it'll just show me that meter. And if it's aligned, that's how you know it's in tune. So say that your violin is not in tune. How do you tune it back? So there are two different ways of changing the tune of your violin. So first we have these pegs, as I mentioned earlier. So these pegs have, these will give you a very broad change in tune. So see, here's my F string right now. If I turn this peg just a little bit, it'll go up a lot. So these, yeah, you can see how it gives you a very broad tuning. So I'll just tune it back right now. And then the other way is these 4 small screws. So these are called fine tuners. So as you can guess, these are used for smaller changes. So if you can tell, my string right now is on the sharp side. If I use my tuner, so it's to the right of the line, which means that it's a little sharp. So I can use this fine tuner to move it back. If I loosen it, the string will become lower. And it will return to the original. And then the opposite of that is if I tighten it, and in which case it will become sharper. Okay, so I'll just reset that. So I'll just do a preview. An example right now. So right now I have a very out of tune violin. So how would I do this? So first I would use one of the following methods that I showed earlier. So for now I'm just going to use this tuning app. So I'm going to start with the lowest string. So this is very flat. This is not even next to F. Right now this tuning app says it's in E. Close to E. So since there's a really big difference, first I want to try using the pegs. So when you're using the pegs, you want to be very careful because these can come loose very easy, and as you know, any small difference can make your string go very out of tune. So I should be very careful. I would not really advise doing this as beginners because most of you aren't experienced with using pegs and you might accidentally make a mistake. So I would generally ask a professional to do it. So maybe go to your local violin shop and ask them to tune it back to FC. But if you're confident, you can try doing it yourself. So right now it needs to go up. So I am going to move this forward. So if I play it right now, it's a little bit closer. So right now, it says it's right to the left, a little bit to the left, which means I need to tighten this fine tuner to give a small boost in tune. And since it's a line now, that's how I know it's in tune. I'll also turn this Shruti box on just to make it a little bit easier. So this gives even more support for me while I'm tuning. So basically, when in Carnatic music, we refer to notes as sa, pa, sa. These are the notes. So if I just tune my violin really quickly. So if I just play my strings, this will be called sa, pa, sa. So this is sa, pa, and then these are also sa and pa. Sa, pa. So yeah, this will just cycle through sa, pa, sa, and then it'll go back down. Okay. So that should be all you need to learn some basic tuning. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you can now tune your violin and soon be ready to play Carnatic music. Thank you.